10 years ago, my wife and I, we stepped out in faith with one word from God to build His church. We made a decision to leave everything we knew to follow after this dream that God had given us and placed in our hearts. Before you could even drive up on the parking lot and step on the pavement, before anyone had walked the halls or even vacuumed the floors, I had a big dream. But you know what? We serve a big God. As He unfolded this plan, He led us to Isaiah 43, verse 18 and 19. It reads, "Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. It shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." 10 years ago, God brought us here to the Woodlands, Texas. It's been a journey that started in an apartment clubhouse with only one member. Everyone has a calling. Some to build a business, write music, or travel the world. Mine was to build a church that would make a difference. A church that God would see as beautiful, that would give people hope. How would the stories of people who are part of a church like that play out?
When you're a little girl, you never imagine your life being ordinary. You never think that one day you will find yourself lost and afraid, searching for something to complete you. I lived my whole life for myself, going from one high to the next. I found myself living in a place that was dark and depressing. I woke up one morning full of questions I couldn't answer. Why am I here? What's my purpose? God pursues us even when we seem to be running from Him. I went to the person in my life who I knew had something I didn't. My mom prayed for me and brought me to a play at church. They played music I liked and talked about choices.
Come to this altar and just line this altar right here. It's your choice.
It's like they were speaking just to me. I raised my hand and came to the altar to give my heart to Jesus. I have never been the same. If you would have told me that I would have been going to Bible school and serving in my church, I would have told you you was crazy. You may think it's simple, but that's okay. But this I know for sure. God rescued my life, and I would never be the same. I was lost, but I found the way.
Family is one of life's most precious gifts. Why is it we don't realize it till it's gone? When you get married, you think this is it. There will be no one else. But life can just get so crazy. Somehow I found myself bound by sin and allowing lust to rule my life.
Not me. It's what everyone thinks. It's what I thought. We spend our lives dreaming of fairy tales, hoping and praying for everything to be perfect. But I lost control of myself, my marriage, my family. I wanted to end it all.
I made excuses to be with other women and turned my back from the people I loved the most.
What is there to live for? Does anyone see me? I tried to take my own life. Hospitalized, on so much medication I couldn't function. I was lost.
You know when you're at the bottom, you have a choice to stay where you're at or to reach up and grab onto something that will pull you out. I had to fight not only for myself but for my family. Jesus pulled me out of my mess. It wasn't always easy. There were days I wanted to give up, but there was something always there to remind me to keep going.
I remember the moment. As I lay at the altar, I was gutted of all the pain, the sorrow. It was gone.
I can now look at my family and see the goodness of God. He forgave me, healed my wife, restored my marriage, and gave me a family.
I went home that night a changed person. I never took another pill. Jesus gave me my life back. I can now be the mother and wife I want to be. He helped me to forgive and to love again. I found the way.
My whole life I've been looking for stability. We live in a world where everything is fearful. There was a lot of fear in my childhood, gas shortages, banking crisis. I have searched for the kind of peace and comfort that only Jesus Christ can give. I have longed to have a relationship with God that would allow me to know His voice.
I'm always learning to be more patient in my walk with God. Pastor always says we live in a microwave society, but we serve a crockpot God. I've learned to be fat through the teaching here at the Way Church. Faithful, accountable, and teachable.
I wanted to know the joy of serving the Lord and to really know the joy of wanting to be a part of a church family. A compliment that would be far above other compliments to me would be for someone to say, "Debbie, I want what you have, peace, the faith, stability."
Winners aren't those who never lose. Winners are those who never quit. At the Way Church, we know our race is only run by staying close to God. If we fall, we can pick ourselves up where we are.
I once prayed and told God that I wanted to be able to pray to Him like He was my dad. I felt peace fill my body like water washing over me. I have learned to walk in peace, faith, and joy through the teaching and love I have received here at the Way Church.
We can finish strong in the Lord. I learned how to run my race. I found the way.
I thought I was going to take over the world. Untouchable. Unstoppable. The first criminal act you commit never seems like a big deal. Fast forward 23 years later, thousands of kilos of drugs sold. Addicted to anything and everything, I turned good, wholesome people into drug-addicted messes. Not just a few, but whole towns. 7 years of my life spent behind bars. The only thing I knew about God was religion. There was a man I met in prison. I don't know his name, but I do know that God placed him there to tell me God loved me and that He cared about me. I found myself on the floor of my cell, hand raised. God, if you can hear me, if you can see me, if you care and if you're real, I need your help. And there He was. He accepted me for who I was and gave me a life of joy and freedom. God finds us so He can help others be found. I would have never imagined myself 4 years later as a pastor with a life dedicated to helping and loving people. I found a place that accepted me despite my past. They look to who I am on the inside, to what God has placed inside me. Yo encontré el camino.
Now is the time for more. As we begin this new decade, I believe that for everyone that calls the Way Church home, it will be a doorway, a new decade of faith, a new decade of hope, love, and connection. 10 years ago, God spoke to me, and today I hear the same words. Remember ye not the former things. I will do a new thing.